Welcome, dear friends, to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast hosted by three gentlemen for whom the very wheel itself bends around. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Bill, Rob, and Rich.
And welcome back to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am Robert.
And I am Rich, finally.
Back from 3 weeks? 3 episodes?
Basically. It's been a while.
It has been. Crazy schedules all around for all three of us. I think Bill mentioned he had like a 4-hour train ride or something the other day, and you're training, and I got a bunch of crap going on too. And then I want to let everybody know we are a day late. This is going to post on Thursdays. This is something that we decided at the last second is since we're always last to report on Wheel of Time Wednesday news on the days that it does happen. I guess it's the first Wednesday of the month. We're gonna hold back for 24 hours so that we can give our fresh takes on the news as it comes out.
Yes.
So we can jump right into that. We don't have any new reviews at this time, but once again, if rate and review, share your love, share your opinion, share your thoughts. We're welcoming all forms of criticism. But as far as news goes, we have our first Game of Thrones crossover. That was one of the things that I think people were speculating, that they wanted to distance the Wheel of Time from Game of Thrones as much as possible, so there's not many comparisons. But as people noted in the video, I guess last Wheel of Time Wednesday, the Michael McElhatton, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Michael McElhatton was seen at the reading table, and there was random speculation. Could this be Tam? Could this be Tom? Could this be some other character? They finally let us know that he is officially Tam al'Thor. So Ty-Sheer McElhatton, welcome to the pattern.
Yep. You're going to be greatly appreciated on this role. This role is very important.
And I love the comparisons between him and his character on Game of Thrones, Roose Bolton, both fatherly characters, although the children of his are two widely different characters.
Yep. Well, I'm going over a lot of the comments from Twitter that showed that, and a lot of people are very happy with this.
I am too. Did you see Rafe's specific tweet about it?
I did not. I'm going through that.
He basically said, I understand the need to kind of maybe not go with Game of Thrones alumni for the Wheel of Time show, but Michael knocked it out of the park so much that he had to cast him, and he thought, Game of Thrones spoilers, that he would give the guys responsible for the Red Wedding a chance to redeem himself.
So yeah, I mean, I did see that one. I saw that one. It was a good one. I mean, I do like that they're doing everything they can to keep everything separate.
Yes. My only now concern is the more we get away from it, farther down the road, the more the Tom is being cut out theory is creeping into my mind. So every week that it's not announced is one more like, oh boy.
Hell, they may do that the last second.
I hope. I'm happy with this casting. He's a great actor. He'll make a great Tam al'Thor. So all for that. Thumbs up in my book.
Just starting to make me feel a little anxious here. Wait for that.
Anxious in a good. Let's get this going. Let's get this going.
I mean, we just need to know it's time.
It's the wheel of time.
Need to be. Yeah, we don't. It's the wheel of time. We need to be waiting on here. We just need to get this going here.
Yes. Well, I mean, they're filming. I mean, there's been shots. There was another pic that was dropped on Twitter where I guess someone saw in the background what could be people dressed as White Cloaks. That was also kind of interesting. I love how now the Twitter of Time community is now diving into every little piece of content that comes out and just drilling down all the minutia and finding all the little nuggets of joy. I love it.
It's good.
And it's fine that we talk about nuggets of joy because our chapter today is all about joy and walking in the light and and white cloaks. Chapter 30, Children of Shadow.
Before we jump into that,
go ahead.
I have an announcement. So not really an announcement, but I finished the book one of The Reckoners for Brandon Sanderson.
Oh yeah.
Have you read that book?
No.
But it's really freaking good.
Oh,
I
yeah?
highly recommend that for you.
Wow. I would definitely. I'm a obviously big Sanderson fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard to read 2 books at once. Like trying to play 2 video games for the same franchise at once. I get crossed up, and I'm like, this should be there, but it's no, wrong book.
Yep. It was actually when I went on vacation. Like I started it a week before on Audible, and it was only 18. I think it was 18 hours. No, it was either 12 or 18 hours. I can't remember. But I started it, and then I went on vacation as on the plane and everything. Like I listened to it so much. It was so good. So I highly recommend that. I really hope that we talk about that eventually more. I know Bill liked it.
Oh yeah. In 20 years when we finish this, we'll start the Cosmere podcast or the Sanderson podcast. I'm sure Bill will be game for that.
Don't say stuff like that. So, anyways, that was my announcement.
Hey, that's book club with Rich. Okay,
That's right.
So chapter 30, Children of Shadow. This is another Perrin, Egwene, Elias chapter. Starts off Perrin. Perrin has his moment of doubt. There, I guess, along the way that they're going, there's a pool there. The only known body of water for miles in this plains area that they're at. Mm-hmm. So Perrin's down to the pool and he's doubting himself because last chapter they had the ravens attack, the ravens chasing him, right? And his mind was like, he went, he kind of went to a dark place in, what if the ravens got to Egwene? What would I have to do to help her if it was a no-win situation? And his mind kind of went dark with some of the options that were there. And
he went real dark.
He went real dark. I mean, it was a logical way to think, but it was very dark. And he really hated himself and he hated his axe. He was like, I can't even believe that I was thinking these thoughts on what to do with this axe. Elias catches up with him. And he's like, son, what's the problem? And he's like, I hate this axe. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And he's getting ready to just chuck it into the pool and forget it. Elias kind of steps up. He does a really good thing. He stops him. And he basically explains to him, use that hate. Use the hate to help her, to help yourselves, to get out of whatever situation you're in. As long as you are hating that axe as you're using it, go with it. The moment you don't hate it, put it down and walk away.
Yep.
Some real deep stuff there, and I love the way that he kind of explained it to Perrin, because that's the way he explained it to Perrin is not basic in a bad way, but basic in a way that Perrin immediately just like, you're 100% correct. Thanks for being here and thanks for helping me. That's exactly I get it. They're by the pool. They're kind of past that point and they're kind of talking. Then all of a sudden, they get the message from the wolves at the same time. Urgent. Many wrong-smelling humans approach. Time to go now. Without even saying a word to each other, both Perrin and Elias were like, yep, I got that. Let's go get Egwene. We're out.
Now, they're in the steading right now, right?
They are in the steading.
They're by that pool water.
They're by pool water, yes. The steading stops magic, but it's not going to stop who approaches them or who's coming right now.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about what the steading really means and everything?
Well, what are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, not really what it means, but like the steading itself is the place where the Ogier we've met an Ogier already, right?
Not yet. We've heard them mentioned, but we haven't met any yet.
Okay. So the steading, in my opinion, basically is that safe area away from everything.
Yes.
All the magic, all the troubles. It's basically where the light and the dark don't really have any influence on. Kind
of a neutral land.
Mm-hmm. So I was wanting to make sure we talked about that one, because the setting does play a big factor in a lot of deals with the Ogier and being a safe area.
Yeah. Bill mentioned last week that this specific setting is not inhabited by the Ogier. So it's kind of within the worlds of steadings. This one in particular is unique because it's, for lack of a better term, desolate. And there was a line in the last chapter that I liked that basically said, the Ogier don't make the steading, but the steading make the Ogier.
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of lays it down how reverent these places are. But word has come down from their, wolf scouts is that the way they word it is that many wrong-smelling humans approach. Bad guys coming. Go.
Or they have about a bad body odor.
Yeah.
They didn't shower.
Not even just a bad body odor, but it's almost like they can sense the wrongness or I don't want to say evil because White Cloaks don't consider themselves evil, but the wrongness of them. The wolves can smell that.
Yep.
Elias tells him, I'll stall them, boys. You take the girl and go. So they are in the dark, running towards this stone outcrop on a hill. And one thing that Perrin starting to notice is that he has night vision. Because Egwene's like, Perrin, I can't see anything. It's pitch black. Perrin's like, well, yeah, we're heading towards the hill, towards the stone outcrop. Perrin, I don't see anything.
That's actually pretty cool. He's like, I could see fine. At first, he doesn't realize that's what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I can. What are you talking about? It's right there in front of us.
Yeah, and until Egwene stopped, he's like, Egwene, what are you holding back for? She's like, I don't know where we're going. It's dark. And the Perrin's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kind of freak here.
Yeah. So as they're making their way towards the stones on the hill, he realizes that they're not just random stones, but actually the hands from the Arthur Hawkwing statue that they talked about in the last chapter, because they camped by one of his eyes. As they get closer, he realizes these are fingers from his hand sticking out of the ground, which I hope they include that in the TV show, because that looks pretty damn cool to me.
I'm sure they will. That's a pretty big thing to have in the story right there, because Arthur Hawkwing was a very, very influential, very important man back in the past.
Oh, more than you know.
Yep, that I know, yeah.
More than you know.
At least as of now.
Yeah, so, last chapter we got the whole kind of the backstory of Arthur Hawkwing and how he ruled all of the lands, even took some of his armies across the ocean to kind of scat out over there. And, his background was that he was normal people under him lived a happy, peaceful lives with full bellies, but he was absolutely ruthless and vicious to anyone who challenged his power, which is what they would mention, like it's a 20-year siege on Tarvalon and, all that. So he was a good king, but you did not want to cross him. So
it reminds me of, I want to throw a Marvel thing out there.
I wouldn't doubt it from you.
And, Odin was like that. He was very ruthless in the very beginning, heartless.
Yeah, I can go there with you. Yeah.
Yeah, very heartless. And then later on, he kind of mellowed out and he became a very peaceful king.
Yes.
But was not afraid of a challenge.
Oh no, don't stare me down. I'll kill you.
Yeah, it's like I'm just here, but I'll get up off this throne and I'll put a smackdown on you.
There'll be two hits, me hitting you, you hitting the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're making their way, I wanted to ask this. I'll ask this to Bill the next time we speak to him, but I want to ask this to you as well. While they were running towards the stones, Egwene literally asks him a random question out of the blue, and she asks Perrin if he will dance with her if they're home by Sunday. Just a random question.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that. I'm sure Bill has a theory crafted already, but I wanted to throw that to you. If you have any idea why she decided at that time to mention dancing with Perrin if they're home by Sunday.
Well, okay, so two things I thought about that. One is that she has the hots for Wolf Boy here, which could possibly be it. Or two, they're friends. And they've been friends for a very long time, and she might feel guilty about dancing with that Tinker Boy.
Oh,
and
okay.
She just needs to, get that guilt from her. Maybe I'm thinking that, but I just think she's got a hankering for some wolf.
Well, to all our listeners, I'd like to remind them that Rich has only read the first 3 books.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know crap. We'll just use my predictions.
That's to quote Obi-Wan, that's one version of the truth.
Yeah. You know,
No, I'm just curious. It was literally just a random thing, but I think maybe your Aram theory has a little more weight. Maybe she feels jealous for spending so much time with Aram that she wanted to I'll dance with you, Perrin, if we're home by. But it's even the part where she said, if we're home by Sunday, because Egwene knows they're not going to be home by next Sunday or the Sunday after that or the Sunday after that. She's going, as far as she knows in this point in time, she's headed to Tar Valon to start training.
yep.
So the dancing part I can understand, but the be home by Sunday, completely out of the blue for me, and I don't know where she got that from. You know, one theory is maybe she's scared witless right now because they're being chased and she's in the dark and she knows Perrin can communicate with wolves now, so she's maybe a little freaked out and just this random question popped out of her head and her lips couldn't stop it. I don't know. But I'm curious to see what Bill thinks about that too.
He probably thinks the same thing I do. She got the hots.
All right. Okay.
You know,
Anyway,
last minute kind of thing, like we're gonna die. I don't know who these people are. You know, time to confess my love.
I've always loved you.
That's right.
So, and I may be jumping up ahead here, but when they get to the hiding place, they can look out to where they were by the pool, and they hear noises, they hear scuffles, they hear or they see like what could be like torches being ridden on horseback, and they see like multiple sets of these torchlights. Whoever came into their area, there were a lot of them. They were able to break up into smaller groups.
Yeah.
And the wolves and Elias are kind of they're
picking them off one by one.
They're trying to pick them
basically.
off. They're trying to I'm blanking on the exact word. I'm trying to harry them. They're trying to harry them to get them off the scent of where Perrin and Egwene went. After some time of hearing this and seeing the torchlights, the group of people start to make their way towards the hill where they're hiding, and they can tell that they're White Cloaks. The White Cloaks come upon where Perrin and Egwene are. They don't see them, but they can hear something, and they know there's people there. So the White Cloaks are staying back, saying, "Come out! You're outnumbered. We got you. Who are you? It's better to walk in the light and come out and talk to us now." Now, I don't count this as a time Perrin was stupid because it makes actual perfect sense. Perrin's thought process was, if we run, they will catch us and kill us instantly without thinking about it.
Correct.
So he decides to surrender, which is a smart move. So this is definitely not
it's not stupid.
Not a time that Perrin's stupid, although we will mention that coming up. But this specific incident, no, he made the right choice. No way they would have outrun.
No.
And by running, they would have been slaughtered on sight.
Yeah.
So Perrin walks up, hands up. Oh, we're just two random people wandering around. We don't know what's going on. You guys scared us. We spooked us. We ran off. So as he's trying to kind of negotiate with these White Cloaks, Hopper comes to the rescue. I got here. Hopper comes to the rescue. ... Sort of. So Hopper takes out at least one of the White Cloaks, but then he gets skewered. And do you listen to Critical Role podcast?
I don't.
Oh, okay. So then my next joke would fall on deaf ears. But to those of you who also listen to Critical Role, I have here Perrin goes full grog, and I would like to rage. So at the sight of Hopper getting skewered, Perrin kind of loses consciousness and goes into a frenzied rage and kind of blacks out. Us as a reader has an idea what happened, but doesn't know the details until later. But I kind of see this absolutely happening where he's got connections to these wolves, and seeing Hopper just get a spear to the side and just literally get skewered, he just loses all sense of reality and goes complete apeshit.
Yeah, he does feel the pain though.
He does. Yes, that's right. He also, I think. And also one thing that we noted too from the last chapter, when the ravens attack the wolves, he can sense their senses. So he like tastes the blood, tastes the feathers. So I'm sure he gets some of that same kind of sensation when Hopper was attacking the White Cloaks. So everything goes black. As Perrin wakes up, he wakes up in a tent. All he knows is we're in a tent. He's with Egwene. She's alive, but they're hogtied. It's not like they're just like handcuffed or they're in a chair with their hands tied back. They're literally hogtied with, I guess, ankles to wrists, which, I can kind of understand with Perrin, but to do that to Egwene's kind of barbaric, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, so they're hogtied on the floor, and they are in the presence of Geofram Bornhold, anointed child of light. So
That guy.
that guy. So we've met White Cloaks before, but now we've met like the first officer or higher ranking child of light. While when they first meet him, they're hogtied on the floor, but even still, Perrin was comparing him to an old grandfatherly figure. I guess the way he was talking to them was more of a calm, soothing manner at the beginning, and he kept comparing him to like a grandfather, and he's almost getting drawn into that kind of visage.
He has this weird feel of me for like old Anthony Hopkins. Again,
Odin.
yeah.
I can see that. Because Anthony Hopkins definitely has the acting chops to be able to I'm evil as hell, but you don't know that yet, and I can kind of woo you in with my charms.
Yeah.
So we also meet Jarrett Byar, Child Byar. He bursts in, he gives a report to Bornhold, and immediately Bornhold calls him out for over-exaggerating the numbers.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. He's like, no. He's like, it's a whole bunch of people. We're surrounded. We did everything. And the guy's like,
There's
no.
50 of them, and they had 100 wolves and armies of Trollocs. And not only did he call him out for the over-exaggeration, Bornhold himself, capitulated what he thinks the numbers were, and he was pretty much dead on exactly right. He's like, I think it was about, actually, Child Byar, I think it was about maybe, about a dozen wolves? Maybe these two, whoever these people are, and that was about it. I appreciate your zealousness, but that's
you way wrong.
Yeah, but you're way wrong, and you got to be careful with that zealousness. And he drops, my son, as I tell my son Dane, name drop, overzealousness can lead you astray.
Yep.
When he gets this kind of gentle scolding, Byar looks at Perrin, and Byar looks at him with absolute seething anger. Perrin has no idea why. He never met the man before. So he's like, maybe it's because I heard, he got scolded and I was sitting here listening to it. Maybe he hates me for that. Perrin still has no idea what happened.
The dude hates him.
He just
like full blown hates him.
He just looks at him with hate, and Perrin's like, what did I do? I don't know you. I don't know you from squat. Why do you hate me so much?
Yeah.
Bornhold Sr. starts asking for, what are you doing? Why are you out here? Why do you have the axe too? He shows the axe to Byar. He goes, what do you think of this? Of course, they're like, well, only a dark friend would have an axe. This axe was expertly crafted, and only a master axeman would wield such a weapon. They must be evil dark friend people. Maybe it could have been just that Master Luhan was an expert level blacksmith and crafted an axe so beautiful that doesn't mean that Perrin's a master axeman. It just means that Master Luhan's an excellent blacksmith. But no, you're evil. It must mean they're evil. Whatever.
Yeah, because you can have some of the coolest and best looking gear, but be absolute garbage with it.
Yeah, it's like, Perrin was at the time was like what, a level 1 barbarian, whatever barbarian. I'm going to go Dungeons and Dragons, and a master blacksmith hands him a weapon that's way above his grade. So he can't use it.
Yeah.
He can't really use it that well yet, but he carries it around like he can.
Yeah.
As we'll find out with the White Cloaks, if you're not exactly with them, odds are you're evil. Perrin starts to go down the right path, and he wasn't going to use the story that Egwene and him had. I forget where their original fake story started at, but they were making their way through. They were they run away from the farmer's daughter kind of story. So he starts to tell them the truth, which is smart because these guys, shit detectors, are probably elite level, and they'll pick up on lies real quick.
Oh yeah.
So he tells them that, we're from Emond's Field. We were making our way. We talked to a warder. We heard about this. And Geofram's like, whoop, time out. You spoke with a warder? And
Yeah, that one shouldn't say anything about.
and then Egwene chimes in. Oh well, we talked to him at an inn one night, and that was it. Just the one night. So there we go. We're gonna chalk that up. Time Perrin was stupid. He dropped Waters. He dropped talking to Waters to the White Cloaks.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Yeah. The warder links him to Aes Sedai, which is almost the entire reason why the children exist, was to, eradicate the evil witches.
Yep.
But then, upon searching Perrin, they found his coin from Moiraine. So that's and they called it a Tar Valon mark, which is another you're obviously associating with these people. You talk to a warder, you have their currency in your pocket. Explain yourself. I
got nothing.
Yeah, that's what he said. I got nothing. So, upon seeing that Bornhold may have already concluded that they were dark friends, Perrin decided to tell the truth, or some version of the truth. So he keeps going, and he says, we heard about this place. We made our way through Shadar Logoth on the way to the next town over, and then time out again. Sorry, time out again. Wheel that one back. Who told you about Shadar Logoth?
Yeah.
Well,
crap.
Yeah, and he's like, crap. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that either. So we're going to count this as a second time Perrin was stupid. Him dropping Shadar Logoth to the White Cloaks as well. So even with Egwene helping out with the story, the children aren't buying any of it. The expertly crafted axe, the talking to the warders, the going to Shadar Logoth, all adds up that, you guys aren't telling us the truth, so you're going to hang out with us until you decide to tell us the truth. They are now officially captives of the White Cloaks.
And Perrin is tied. He's tied up real good.
Yes.
Like real good. Like bondage level good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, his wrists to ankles. Geofriend turns to Egwene, and he's like, "Child, we're going to be heading back to our capital, to our home base in Amdor. But first, we have to go to Caemlyn for a while. In that time, you have all that time to reassess your situation, and when you feel you want to tell us the truth, you tell us the truth and repent your sins, walk in the light, and we can definitely take that as a good sign and see that you are truly a child of light and be fine." Upon hearing that, Perrin starts to think, oh, well, maybe there isn't a way out of here. So good. So she can do that. Okay, what about me? And then we get the last paragraph or last line where Geofriend turns to Perrin, and he sees this deep sorrow building within his face, and he's like, well, you killed two of my guys.
Yep.
Your fate has been sealed. Sorry for you. Chapter end. So I love the chilling way that it ended. You realize, Perrin realizes, oh shit, what happened? I blacked out there for a bit. What happened?
Yep.
So, obviously, he killed two White Cloaks, or so has been claimed. What are your thoughts?
I mean, to be honest, because of what he did, it's pretty understandable that that's why they would do that. They're just like, you know what, you're done. You've already killed people. There's no going back.
Yeah, I know. And you think about it, they didn't, to be honest, Hopper struck first.
Yeah.
When Hopper was skewered, Perrin went into a rage and kind of blacked out. So it's hard to argue for Perrin. But then again, these guys go around with their own set of laws and judge, jury, and executioners, and they do things their way, regardless of the state, regardless of whatever country they're in or rules or wherever and they just do what they please.
Yep.
Yeah, if we were in a court, if Perrin was in a court and that was his story, he killed the wolf and I blacked out, I don't think a jury would be too gentle on him either.
Although we do have animal rights people.
We do. But then if they said I killed two people because I saw them kill a wolf, that still wouldn't get too much.
That's true.
Wolf. I saw this wolf attack me, or wolf attacked this guy. Then I killed the wolf. Then the guy that I was protecting killed two other people. Lots of death. But I can see the child. It's just ironic because Perrin and Egwene are two of the heroes of the story, but I can see the side from Bornhold and the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
It's a good chapter. It's a great chapter. I mean, we're hitting the part of the book I think is like the sweet spot, because the next couple chapters after this is just chock full of goodness. We get some good parent background. He's getting more and more with the wolves. You know, he's immediately picking up the same signals from Elias. He's picking up the sensations. He's fighting with the wolves. Let's just hope he can find a way out of this pickle he's in with the children. Who knows? Maybe the children are forgiving and they'll just forget the whole thing happened.
Okay. When have they ever done that? They kill people at random just because they either looked like Dark Friends or they're just suspicious that what that person just said has an intent of Dark Friend.
I know.
So,
yeah, I know.
They'd be crazy.
They are masters at holding grudges. They don't forget.
Yeah. They're very... my impression of the old man...
Geofram?
Yeah, I like him. He has that older look to it. And I think one of the things they say in the chapter is, he treats the two like he's their grandparent or his grandfather, and he's getting onto them because they mischievously got into something they shouldn't have been getting into.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at this is, he tends to not be like the other White Cloaks. He knows that. He understands that the way that everybody else looks at things is not the way it should be, but he still knows that, okay, yeah, you did kill 2 of my men. I'm sorry, but you're done.
Well, there's one line in there that explains Geofram, and you kind of hit the nail right on the head. He truly, truly is sorry. He doesn't want to do it, but he is absolutely bound by duty. It's black and white. You did this. Now here are the consequences. I don't like it any more than you do.
Yeah.
One of those, it's going to hurt me more than it hurts you type of things.
Basically.
Overall, it was a good chapter. Like I said, we get more background on the White Cloaks.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the one scene with Rand, we just hear about them in the background. This is the first chapter we get where we see that they're really a thorn in the side.
Yep.
And they always, always pop up when you least expect it and when you least hope that they show up. Because as they pop up, you'll be like, oh God, not these guys again. But that's how they roll. That's how they roll.
They pop out of everywhere.
So that will lead us into our Readings with Rob segment.
And now, the Ta'veren present to you Readings with Rob. Chapter 30, Children of Shadow. Give them back their belongings, Child Bayar. Not the weapons, of course. When Bayar looked at him in surprise, Bornhold added, Or are you one of those who have taken to looting the unenlightened, Child Bayar? It is a bad business, that, yes? No man can be a thief and walk in the light. Bayar seemed to struggle with disbelief at the suggestion. Then you're letting us go? Egwene sounded surprised. Perrin lifted his head to stare at the Lord Captain. Of course not, child, Bornhold said sadly. You may be telling the truth about being from the Two Rivers, since you know about Baerlon and the mines. But Cedar Logoth? That is a name very, very few know. Most of them dark friends. And anyone knows enough to know the name, knows enough not to go there. I suggest you think of a better story on the journey to Amador. You will have time, since we must pause in Caemlyn. Preferably the truth, child. There is freedom in truth and the light. Bayar forgot some of his indifference to the gray-haired man. He sprung from the prisoners, and there was an outraged snap to his words. You can't! It is not allowed! Bornhold raised one eyebrow quizzically, and Bayar pulled himself up short, swallowing. Forgive me, my Lord Captain. I forgot myself, and I humbly beg pardon and submit myself for penance. But as my Lord Captain himself has pointed out, we must reach Caemlyn in time.
And with most of our remats gone, we will be hard-pressed enough without carrying prisoners along. And what would you suggest? Bornhold asked calmly. The penalty for doctrines is death. The flat voice made it all the more jarring. He might have been suggesting stepping on a bug. There is no truce with the shadow. There is no mercy for dark friends. Zeal is to be applauded, child buyer. But, as I must often tell my son Dane, overzealousness can be a grievous fault. Remember that the tenants also say, no man is so lost that he cannot be brought to the light. These two are young. They cannot yet be deep in the shadow. They can yet be led to the light, if they will only allow the shadow to be lifted from their eyes. We must give them that shot. For a moment, Perrin almost felt affection for the grandfatherly man who stood between them and Bayar. Then Bornhold turned his grandfather's smile on Egwene. If you refuse to come to the light, by the time we reach Amador, I will be forced to turn you over to the questioners. And besides them, Bayar's zeal is but a candle beside the sun. The gray-haired man sounded like a man who regretted what he must do, but who had no intention of ever doing anything but his duty as he saw it. Repent. Renounce the Dark One. Come to the light, confess your sins, and tell what you know of this vileness with wolves, and you will be spared that. You will walk free in the light. His gaze centered on Perrin, and he sighed sadly. Ice filled Perrin's spine. But you, just Perrin from the Two Rivers, you killed 2 of the children. He touched the axe that Bayar still held. For you, I fear a gibbet waits you in Amador.
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
And that was Readings with Rob. I as I mentioned in the Discord server, I think I may have accidentally created Jamaican Geofram.
Nah.
I tried, but the accent kind of wavers all over
That's
the place.
awesome.
I need Bill to give me a ruling on that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
See, next chapter we have Play for Your Supper. Could have many different meanings, but I think we get our first look at Rand and Matt Gleeman's in training.
Yes.
That's going to be a fun chapter too. This was fun. I appreciate the time, Rich.
Yeah.
How's training coming along?
It's going. It's a lot of work.
Yeah?
I hurt a lot, but it's well worth it.
When's your next competition?
January.
Okay.
It's my first one, so.
I had a cousin who maybe about, I don't know, 8-10 years ago got into bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah.
And for maybe like 4 to 6 months at a time, his entire diet was water and grilled chicken with no seasoning.
No, I don't do that. No, I love food too much.
No, but that's great. We need to get more. We need to get more reports on how the training competition goes along.
And how much my pain I'm in.
How much pain you're in.
It's a lot. Not really a lot of pain. Like, oh my God, I think I broke my leg or something. But it's just like soreness constantly.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Hey, you could be hogtied to a tent in the middle of nowhere with some old grandfather telling you he's going to put you into a gibbet.
Yeah, I don't want that. That seems
that's a different kind of training, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely some weird stuff, but yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, guys, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed. Welcome, Michael McElhatton, to the Wheel of Time world.
Yeah.
Formerly the former Roose Bolton, now Tam al'Thor. White Cloaks beware. The al'Thors are coming for you.
Yeah.
All right. I think what am I going to do? I am going to go run with the wolves. What about you?
I'm gonna go try to get untied.
No.
I feel like I'm very tied up at the moment.
Tell you what, if you're able to get untied, that might impress the Egwene and the ladies. Those Tinker Dancers might like to know how you finagled that one.
Oh, you know.
No, Rich, I don't.
Don't you worry, you don't need to know.
Nope, it's all you. No. All right, guys, this was fun. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Now that our heroic trio have left the familiar confines of the Two Rivers, they find themselves being chased by all sorts of denizens of the Dark One. Our party has been scattered, and the boys separated from Mograine and Lan. Let us hope that luck, or some other force, can keep them safe. Bill? Billiam! Put that dagger down! You have no idea where in creation that's been. No, Rich. I don't have an extra cloak with me. Maybe if you didn't ride your horse straight into the Arenelle, you wouldn't have this problem, For crying out loud, Robert, I know that girl from Baerlon said weird things to you, but you shouldn't let it get under your skin so much. What are you, 11? You all remind me of a younger version of myself. Why, back in Watch Hill, I would...
Podcasters Assemble! Podcasters Assemble Season 2 is a hype/rewatch podcast that's reviewing every movie in the Star Wars Skywalker saga and a countdown to the release of Episode 9. As with Season 1, where we covered all of the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we want to hear from you about your favorite things in the Star Wars films. You can submit audio for just one of the movies in the Skywalker saga, or you can send in an audio file for every single one. Talk about what you love about the film, your favorite light side moment versus dark side moment, or your favorite music cue, your favorite quote, or your favorite ship or vehicle in the movie. If you go to probablywork.com and look for Podcasters Assemble, you'll find these instructions as well as a link on where to go to submit your audio. In order to make sure we have time to edit everything, we're looking for you to submit your audio a couple days before. So the deadline for the first episode is going to be October 20th. And then it's weekly after that. So for episode 2, it's October 27th and so on from there. Again, you can find the schedule and all of this information at probablywork.com. Whether you're a podcaster, a YouTuber, a streamer, or just a fan of Star Wars, we want to hear from you. So head to probablywork.com or look up @Casters Assemble on Twitter and share your thoughts about Star Wars.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
@ProbablyWork for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.
Disney Plus, which comes out next week.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for. It says every cartoon from your childhood to watch on day one. I'm like, oh. Thank God I've pre-ordered it.
Are we not going to see Rich for a while?
You might not. We'll find out.
You'll be the one at the gym pumping iron with gargoyles on in the background.
Yeah.